Alright, let's do something that we haven't done in a while. Let's go make a video on the car. So, I just recently got done eating some Vietnamese food at a place called Vo Phu. And I got myself a nice US Pole Assassin leather jacket. No, not leather, but denim cotton jacket right here. I want to discuss something real quick that has something a lot to pertain to do. Who I am as a man and why a lot of ladies like me. See, I come to realize this is that, as Kevin Samuels described in one of his videos, about the two types of men that women cannot resist, and that is the pretty boy and the bad boy. And let me give you an example of someone else who is a popular pretty bad boy that is among my favorite artists of all time, and that was Tupac. So Tupac was a rapper that rapped about the streets, but he also made music that appealed to women, and he had a strong sex appeal. He was very handsome, he was very charming. All the ladies liked him. I remember that he did this interview of him on Venice Beach with that one lady, and he would have fans come up to her who were mainly young, black, female fans that said, "I just want to say that I love you." And I would say, I even saw this one reaction video on YouTube. I might put the link down in the description later on, of this young couple that were watching an interview of him when he was in prison for the being falsely accused of rape and assault by that heifer, that lying, you know what, Ayanna Jackson. And the woman was obviously into him and said, "See, that's how you can be rugged and cute." And then she turned to her boyfriend and said, "You can't do that." So what does it mean to be, why is it that pretty bad boys are so attractive towards women? Well, this is what I notice again, is that a lot of times women are in relationships nowadays to the nice guy. Who's the nice guy? The nice guy is the man who will go ahead and bend over backwards, do everything he can to please you, will give you everything you want, you know, kids, a house, and pay for your bills. But he's a pushover, and he's lame, and a lot of times he's boring. You know, he's too predictable, he's too nice, and a lot of times, you know, it may be nice in the beginning that, oh, he gives me everything I want, and yada yada yada, but there's no friction, there's no spice, there's nothing, there's no interesting things that go on in life that you're able to provide for me in this relationship. And I noticed time and time again, over and over again, women have been checking me out, even though they're already married, even though they already have boyfriends. I think the case is that they're with a nice guy because a nice guy, he's more stable, he's more reliable, and he is able to give her what she wants. But then they see a pretty bad boy like myself who has a bit of rugged edge to him, and they're like, whoa, he's tough. And he does his own thing, he's doing interesting things with his life, he's got his own thing. He's got all this interesting, cool stuff going on. You know, he doesn't take shit from anyone and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I like him. But you know what? I'm not putting up with that nonsense. You know, I am not the type of dude that you're going to go ahead and have on the side. Is that I'm the only guy you have or none at all. And it's just that I talk with women all the time. I'm not afraid to go up to a woman if I'm interested in her. And if she's not compatible with who I am and what I'm looking for in a woman, then I just move on to something else. And guys are jealous of me. Guys say, "Oh, you're being perverted," or yada yada yada. It's like, "Oh, you just want to go and use women." No, I don't. If you want to go ahead and, if you're fishing, you're not going to catch the certain fish you want if you don't at least throw out a line. That's how it is. That's the same thing with talking with women. You got to throw out lines at them, see if they bite, see if they catch. And if they don't, then you move on elsewhere. Or maybe you're not using the appropriate bait to lure them into your world. I mean, I'm not trying to go ahead and smash and dash. I'm not trying to go ahead and take advantage of women. It's just the fact of the matter is that I'm single. I've never been married. I have no children. So the world is my oyster. I'm also very handsome. I'm very charming. And I'm not afraid to go after what I want. And I have qualities that a lot is missing in a lot of guys nowadays. I consider myself to be a strong, real, no-nonsense, hard-working man who has a lot of cool things going on for himself and is off in a great direction in life. I mean, I'm changing myself for the better. I'm not drinking and smoking anymore. I'm not hanging around the wrong crowd, even though I have friends who've lived the lifestyle in which they were a part of the streets in the past. They moved on to bigger and better things. And you take that thug mentality in order to become tough, in order to endure the hardships and challenges in life. And then you apply the hustler mentality. Like this one interview I saw of this one gangster, a notorious gangster named Nate Boone Craft, who was the hitman for the drug cartel family best friends in the 80s. And he was convicted of killing 30 people. And he talked about during his sentencing that, you know what, I did what I had to do. You live or you die. You hustle or you go broke. I don't believe in the live or die situation, but I do believe that in order to make it in this world, you have to hustle. One of the things I remember Kevin Samuels saying as advice to young men like myself is this, is that if you have no children, you've never been married, you're a single young bachelor, and you're not working at least 60 hours a week in order to get ahead in life, you're lazy. It's like I wake up at 4:30 and 3:30 in the morning, and I go to bed 11:30 at night. And people say, oh, you're not getting enough sleep. Man, I don't need a lot of sleep. You know, I'm a soldier. I'm able to adapt to what I do. I mean, I work as a cook. And being a cook, especially a high-end resort for what I do, and working my way up to becoming a chef, it's a tough job. It's a tough, intense job for tough and intense people. Especially working in a restaurant in which you got to go ahead and do like several hundred covers in a night. It's not for everybody. I put it this way, it's like cooking in the kitchen is like going to war. You got to make sure you have the right artillery, the right weapons, and have everything in place so that you prepare for the battle. And that is serving quality food in a rapid succession. Like sometimes like machine gun fire. And that's just how it is. You know? And I love what I do, and people love me for what I do. I work in all these different restaurants where I'm at, and even in banquets, because they know I have the skills to do what I do. I'm moving forward my career. And a lot of ladies take notice in that because they take notice in me because of that. So, and it's just another thing. Another aspect of how you apply the street mentality into your life. I've learned things about how to talk with women from guys who are pimps. Okay? One guy I remember, whose name was Hollywood Shantae. He was an old school pimp that was doing his thing back in the 70s, 80s, and I think 90s. And he talked about in one video how women want the 3 A's. Attention, appreciation, and affection. See, why is it that pimps are able to go ahead and get women to do what they want for them? It's because, like this one other pimp I checked out, Rosebud Beardo, said, because we know how women think. Does that mean I want to be a pimp? No. Okay? You learn certain things from certain people, and you take in what makes sense to you to apply how you become a better person in life. So for me, the application of stuff I learned from guys from the streets is this, is that being a gangster, you realize that life is tough. It's not all gumdrops and rainbows and unicorns. It's like a jungle out there. And sometimes you gotta stand up for yourself and fight in order to endure what life throws at you. And then you gotta hustle. You gotta work hard, you gotta hustle in order to get ahead to where you wanna be in life. Whether it's being a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse or a cook like myself, or like some of these guys I've seen on the streets that they're selling weed, but at least they're making a living. I don't care about guys who are selling hardcore drugs, but I remember seeing this one guy. He was selling like fancy underwear and clothes out of a suitcase on the street, and he said he even takes credit cards. And I said, no, I'm good, bro. And he just kept on moving. But at least he's doing something positive. He's trying to hustle and do what he can. It's like you wake up early in the morning and you grind and hustle throughout the day so that you get to where you want to be in life. And then you know how to go ahead and finesse and romanticize little ladies, but also how to go ahead and use your tongue like a pimp does in order to get what you want. Pimps are experts at psychology. They're experts at communication. So you can learn certain things from guys from the streets and apply to the principles into the real world so that you can go ahead and become more effective in reality. These are things that you'll never learn in school. So that's the whole thing, is that I learned a lot of things from the streets, from guys who are from the streets. And that is why, part of the reason why I am the way I am today. I learned things from my father, too. And one of the things that my dad taught me is this, is that if you want to be great at something, you have to be three things. The first, the best, or only person to do what you do. You guys need to stand out. And another thing that he told me when he was back in the days is, if you want anything in life, you need to get off your ass, grow a backbone, and go to work. Because life is not easy. Life is hard. And if you want to get anything in life, you got to get off your ass and go for it. Just work for it. That's why I have respect for guys who are hard workers and who are tough. And I don't have respect for people who are lazy and who are wimps. Okay? You think that life is going to get you what you want just because you want it? Absolutely not. Get off your ass and go and get it. So those principles, and you apply to how you live your life, is what's going to help you to win, not just in success, but with women. You know, I've learned stuff from guys on the streets. Women are attracted to men who are tough, who know how to hustle, and who know how to romanticize them and finesse them. So, that is why I'm able to go ahead and be successful with women and also be successful with my life and applying these principles and leaving out the bullshit of the stuff of people I've seen in the past and only leave time for the good, leaving the good shit. Anyways, till next time, this is Dre's Journey signing off. Hopefully you get something out of this video. You know, you go ahead and share, subscribe, comment, whether you agree or disagree, and we'll discuss it further. Till next time, I got some other business to take care of for today. You enjoy. Bye-bye.